Hello, my dear friends. Welcome to my channel or welcome back. My name is Sarita. I have a double candle review for you today from Tuscany. And I have many times said that Tuscany is kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel where it comes to candle quality. Tuscany candles are mainly seen in grocery stores, do brisk business in the grocery stores for a fairly reasonable price. But at least I have found that the majority of Tuscany candles that you see in the grocery stores are of very bad quality. They're really just kind of impulse buys for people who are shopping for groceries, and they don't necessarily market themselves to really serious candle buyers. So I kind of wrote off Tuscany a really long time ago, and I am discovering that Tuscany actually is very capable of putting together a beautiful candle that has an amazing, sophisticated fragrance and fully capable of producing a candle that performs as well. However, those candles are toward the back of their catalog. And for probably a whole host of very understandable marketing reasons, are not front and center in the grocery stores. I have found that their limited edition candles, which are 12 ounce, they are 3 wick, they are a soy blend, and they usually have some sort of wraparound like this. These candles are significantly of better quality than their glass ones. I have not had a good experience with any of their glass ones, and I have to be honest, most of them smell so bad on cold, so cheap, that I wouldn't even think about purchasing them. But the couple that I have purchased have really not performed very well. However, I would say a full 80%, if not closer to 90% of these style candles that I bought from Tuscany are fantastic. Not all the scents appeal to me, but many of them do. And I do think they are more sophisticated than the usual Tuscany candles. And they perform really well, at least the ones that I have burned. And in this time and this climate where no candle company is really knocking it out of the park, and frankly, we are scraping the bottom of the barrel with almost every single company at this point, why not throw Tuscany in the midst? I really think that Tuscany is at least performing as well as any of these other candle companies, if not better. And these two candles that I have for you today are better, are absolutely better. They are two of the most enjoyable candles that I have burned for several months. And so I'm really happy to present them to you. I bought these at one of the more bougie grocery stores in our area. It is Wegmans. If you are familiar with that chain of grocery stores, I think it's primarily East Coast, but I could be wrong about that. They might be all over the place, but I would say in fairly select markets. Wegmans does, they carry some root candles, they carry some Northern Lights, they carry Tuscany. They might carry a couple others, but those are mainly the candles they have. But I've noticed that at least my Wegmans switches out their candles on a pretty good basis and always have like decorative, like home decor items too, and are often at a really good price. I can't honestly remember what I got these two candles for. I want to say it was kind of in the $15 range, something like that, which is a little bit more than I want to spend for Tuscany. I would say even for these really good candles, if you can get it anywhere between $10 and $15, I think it's a more than decent price for the quality that you're getting here. Any more than that, and I'm not entirely sure. That being said, I wouldn't pay any more than that for a Bath & Body Works candle. So there's nothing necessary. I would rank these just as high as a Bath & Body Works candle. And the way that Bath & Body Works has been going lately, I would rank these higher than Bath & Body Works. So just kind of receive that. I did look, these are available on the Tuscany website proper. So unlike Aldi or, those kinds of grocery retailers, Tuscany does have an online presence and you can buy candles through them. I don't know if the prices are particularly good online for Tuscany. As with a loom, on their website, they tend to just kind of charge the highest retail price that they possibly can, whereas the price point that you're going to see in grocery stores is a lot less. And in some cases, significantly less. So I saw online that Meijer, I'm a Midwest girl. I was brought up in the Midwest and in the Northeast. But in the Midwest, we have this chain of grocery stores called Meijer. And I know at Meijer, they're selling it for like $12.99, which is a great price point. Yeah, and the grocery stores tend to like put these candles on sale as well. And then you can get it for less. On Tuscany's website, they are $18.99, which I think is a little steep. But that being said, I do highly recommend these candles, and you can do worse. At this point, you can do worse at Yankee Candle, at Kringle Candle, at Goose Creek. You can do worse at Bath & Body Works, unfortunately, even at that price point. So, yeah, it's not terrible. And I noticed that this weekend, they have a sale. I think it's like free shipping over $30. So like fairly easy to get some free shipping on that as well. All right, so let's talk about these candles. This is apparently one of their limited edition summer collections for 2025. And it looks like they're calling it, I printed out some notes here. I guess they're calling it, grab one before this limited edition. Oh, I guess not, never mind. I thought they were calling it a confetti collection, but they're not. They're just calling it their summer limited edition collection. I think there's like 6 candles in that collection. My Wegmans had 5 of them. They didn't have, I don't think they had the neroli sage one, which I'd be really interested in smelling. But they had 5 of them. Of the 5, I bought the 2 that I was most interested in. There was like a Palo Santo one, and it wasn't bad, but it just wasn't anything more remarkable than, I mean, it wasn't quite as good as Bath & Body Works, but it just wasn't as remarkable as I wanted it to be. And since I was buying these kind of like full price, even at $15 or $16, I just went with the 2 that I thought were the best smelling, and at least in the case of Yuzu Burst, the most interesting. So let's start out with Yuzu Burst, and I'm gonna start out with the bad, and the bad is this right here, and the fact that I only burned about half of the candle. However, walk with me. However, I think this might have been user error, because I was enjoying this candle so much that I lit it up one day, and I am not kidding you, burned it for over 8 hours. And these candles burn so well that I thought it was gonna be fine, you know? And then it like killed it. And after that point, I could not get it to work. I mean, it's just puny wicks. Like I've burned it 3 or 4 times since then, and I can't get it past the puny wick stage. So I'm just calling it on this candle. I would be interested in buying another one and burning it appropriately, not abusing it, because I think it would probably burn fine. But I did just want to say this one did not burn well. It burned fine until the halfway point, and until I burned it for like 9 hours, and then it just completely died. This one, however, because I did not do it to this one burned fine all the way down. I mean, there was some moderate sooting, but not bad at all considering how long I burned it. By the way, I really like these 12 ounce. No, they are a couple ounces like shorter or lighter than a Bath & Body Works candle. But what I really like about it is the narrower diameter. So they're deeper candles, and I just like that. They tend to pool very quickly because of the small diameter, and then you just weirdly kind of feel like you don't need to burn it quite as long because it's immediately gotten that amazing pull right off. And yeah, with the Bath & Body Works candles, sometimes I feel like it takes a bit to get it to pull all the way around. And I don't know, I tend to start counting the clock down after the candle pulls, which I know you shouldn't do that. pulls all the way around it. And Tuscany just has a really good shape here, and I hope that they stick with it. Like I said, not all of their candles are this particular vessel or size, but I think these are the best of the bunch. And they seem to come in these like narrower 12-ounce 3-wick soy blend. And extremely impressive in terms of burn quality and strength and throw from these candles, despite the fact that they're soy. You would imagine it's a pretty good burn because of, the soy. This company, though, has fairly cheap inputs, and it's impressive, the quality that they've got here. Sorry, guys, I have hiccups now. I should edit them out, but I have found, too, that it's better to just let them come out rather than trying to hold your breath or count to 10 or scare yourself or drink water. Like, just let them out, and then you won't fight them for 10 minutes. Okay, so Yuzu Burst had problems. I did notice I was in Wegmans yesterday, and they still have a good amount of Yuzu Burst. This next one was sold out, though, the Caribbean Carnival, along with another couple. Anyway, I'm hopeful that they're gonna go on sale and I can get another Yuzu Burst, because I absolutely will repurchase this one. All right, so let's talk about Yuzu Burst. One of the things that I love here is that, like, for being Tuscany, they have a really pretty professional website, and their scent stories and blurbs are extremely professional as well. I mean, every bit as good as Bath & Body Works, and even a little bit better. I mean, they really seem uber professional in like their presentation of the candle, the information that's on the website. How many times are you in a candle company and you're just trying to find out, what is your wax formula? How many ounces does this candle have? Things that should really be front and center, and they're just not. Like, it's crazy. This website is actually really good, and I have to give them high marks for all of the information that they give, and it's a lot. So there are actually almost 2 scent stories here for the candles. So here's the scent story for Yuzu Burst. Give your summer space a zesty refresh with Yuzu Burst, a citrus-forward scented candle that's as invigorating as a sunny morning breeze. Bursting with sparkling bergamot, juicy Japanese yuzu, soft apricot, and a touch of musk, this summer candle is the perfect balance of bright and breezy. It's a little tropical, a little spa-like, and totally ready to turn your everyday into a moment of sunshine-soaked serenity. Folks, let's Tuscany take a bow. Take a bow. I mean, like, how professional and how articulate and how thoughtful and how, like, detailed is that? And that's only the first scent story for this candle. Like, really, really impressive, unexpectedly so, given the reputation that they have. Fragrance notes on it, and they just list a few: sparkling bergamot, Japanese yuzu, apricot, and musk. And then it gives you product details. They describe it for you. Poured in a vibrant 12-ounce jar wrapped in citrus-inspired florals and finished with a gleaming gold lid, this soy blend candle with essential oils is an effortlessly beautiful gift. Whether you're shopping for a hostess, celebrating a summer birthday, or treating yourself to a little slice of calm, Yuzu Burst is a standout pick. Add it to your summer gifting list or pair it with a chilled cocktail and some sunshine. It's the kind of glow that goes with everything. It's like this gift just keeps on giving. I don't know who their like scent story writers are on staff, but like these two have to be like some of the best descriptions that I've seen for a candle in a long time. And somehow it doesn't come off very cheesy either. It's incredible. All right, that was just very unexpected. And I know that the proof is in the pudding, in the actual candle itself, but like it's impressive, especially since I felt bad sometimes, like panning or dragging Kringle for how unprofessional their scent lists are and their scent stories. But come on, if Tuscany can do a job like that, you know what I mean? Just no excuses for any of the other companies. Absolutely none. All right, so I loved this candle the minute that I smelled it because it was amazingly citrusy but not in a generic or candied way. I mean, it's a true, authentic botanical citrus burst. And this sugar is tempered on it. It does have kind of a lemongrass herbal that kind of comes down underneath it. Yes, there's probably some musk underneath, but you know how wonderful it is to smell a candle that's not drowning in amber? Oh my gosh. It's just being so overused by almost every candle company at this point. I'm looking at you, Yankee. I'm looking at you, Bath & Body Works. I'm definitely looking at you, Kringle. It's just so much amber and musk. It's like we're swimming in perfume. And I've conjectured that it's because they've discovered that amber and jasmine conceal the soy odor the best. But yeah, really not good. The conceptuals that have come out, and conceptuals have become fairly popular. I love conceptuals, but they've all become extremely heavy perfumes or colognes with the inclusion of that amber. And what I love about this is that it does have a little bit of a warmth and a musk to it, but it's a very light touch. And the real star of the show is the other notes that are far more interesting. Yes? So you do get this amazing, it really comes across as a lemon, really more than any other citrus. A lemon, a lemongrass. Oh, there might be just a touch of something a little bit more tart than a lemon, a little bit more sour, a little bit more green, as in a bergamot or as a lime. But it's that beautiful, sweet, like Meyer lemon that you're getting that is just so fantastic. I've said this before, lemon fragrances can go wrong in a million different ways. And there's really only one or two ways in which it can go correct. I think lemon is a very, very hard home fragrance note to nail without it being cleaner-like on one hand, and without it being so overly candied and synthetic on the other. It's actually really difficult to have a pleasing, fresh, bright citrus note, but you know it when you smell it, and there's nothing quite like it. I don't even count myself as a huge citrus fan in home fragrance, certainly not a fan of lemon in home fragrance, but man, when it is nailed correctly, it is gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. And it's gorgeous in this candle. The apricot lends the candle a basier sweetness, and apricot and musk kind of go together well. You know how like a peach or an apricot or one of those stone fruits can sometimes smell a little bit musky? So that is it's a really thoughtful fragrance continuum there, apricot to musk. And the apricot has that sweetness that's really countering the tartness, the sourness of the lemon, of the bergamot, and the herbalness of the lemongrass. And they don't have a lemongrass note here mentioned, but like I said, there is at least a green element, if not a subtly green herbal element here, that along with the lemon comes across as a little bit lemongrass. The entire thing is exuberant. It is fresh and it is clean, but at the same time, it's also like kind of tasty and succulent and also spa-like, as they say, with those like herbal-ish green elements to it. And the whole thing has this botanical freshness to it that just is so fantastic. It's a beautiful candle, perfectly well balanced, and the strength and throw on it was extremely impressive. This candle probably, I mean, in the open concept was getting up to a 7, no question. It's one that I didn't even really need to take to the back bedroom. And it's a beautiful fragrance for an open concept spring and summer-like setting. It's a fantastic candle. I will absolutely be repurchasing one. I would have repurchased it even if I hadn't been cheated out of the second half of this candle, probably due to user error, but I'm definitely buying at least one more of these. Super fantastic. I love this candle. I really do. And I think it's a little bit on the unique side too. It's not necessarily a candle that you've smelled a million other places, and it's executed perfectly. And with that strength and throw, please, it's a no-brainer. It's absolutely a no-brainer. I highly recommend to you Yuzu Burst, absolutely. And if you check out these candles on the Tuscany website, it's one that I would encourage you to buy. There is one, I think the only one that was reviewed online from this collection was, oh gosh, I can't remember which one it was. One of them was reviewed and they mentioned really strong fragrance. So I think that this collection is probably a good performer. Caribbean Festival, which I'm gonna talk about here in a second, was not quite as strong as the Yuzu Burst, but still it was extremely decent. I mean, in the back bedroom, it got up to a 7, you know? In the open concept, it was more of a 6 or a 6.5, and in that sense, a little bit weaker. But come on, I mean, even our Bath & Body Works candles are really not getting up into the 6 realm, even in the open concept. So really, really strong performance. I think probably on the whole collection, but certainly on Yuzu Burst. So yeah, I can't think of a better candle for spring and for summer. It's really fantastic. All right, so let's talk about the second one, which is this one right here, Caribbean Festival. Somehow I got a cut in the wraparound there, and I don't know how I did that. I mean, I don't think the wraparound is very expensive, but it's really not about that. You know what I mean? So the notes listed here are acai and palm leaf. I think I'm pronouncing acai correctly. One of those people who, you see, the acai bowls were like really huge 10 years ago or something. Like, I had just never heard it pronounced. And so you're looking at it and you're like, is it a kai? Like, I don't really know. I mean, it's not or at least it wasn't 10 years ago, a very common like fruit. Now, of course it is. All right, so acai, if you're unfamiliar, is, at least once it's been processed, it's very similar to a blueberry, to be honest. There's a blueberry sorbet-ish kind of quality to it. Blueberry slash blackberry, maybe somewhere in there. Blueberry, blackberry. Yeah. A little bit on the tart side, a little bit tartar than a blueberry perhaps. So yeah, this is supposed to be acai and palm leaf. And let me see, I haven't even read the scent blurbs, but let's go for it. Bring the party home with Caribbean Carnival, a bold and fruity summer candle that captures the vibrant rhythm of island life. Juicy passion fruit and sweet acai berries take center stage in this tropical blend, grounded by a hint of fresh palm leaf for a scent that's both juicy and refreshing. It's playful, energizing, and totally transportive, like dancing through sun-drenched streets in the middle of a summer festival. Again, such high marks, right? And then the other product details says, housed in a striking blue jar, wrapped with colorful abstract florals, this 12-ounce soy blend candle with essential oils is a standout gift and a steady pick-me-up for any space. With 3 clean-burning wicks and up to 45 hours of fragrance, it's perfect for summer birthdays, spontaneous surprises, or brightening up your own space with a tropical twist. Grab one before the confetti settles. This limited edition candle won't stick around forever. All right, so that's Caribbean Carnival, and the fragrance notes just list passion fruit and sweet acai berries blended with fresh palm leaf. Although I appreciate, of course, the very slick and professional scent stories here, I actually don't get those fragrance notes. Yes, I can understand acai berry because this candle is very dark and very jammy in kind of that blackberry, huckleberry, kind of, almost cranberry, plum-like dimension. So I can see acai berries. I don't know about passion fruit, and I'm not like completely familiar with passion fruit, but I from my remembrance, passion fruit is lighter and higher and sweeter than this candle is. I mean, this is a basey candle, and in fact, I would say it's a fall leaning candle. So I don't know that it's particularly seasonal for spring or for summer. It's not transporting me to a Caribbean place. It's not transporting me to a summer space. And it's not really transforming me to a party space either. I wouldn't say that this candle is cute or fun. This candle is gorgeous, but this candle is very dark, jammy, musky. It's just, I mean, it's all lower mid-range to base notes, all of them in there. And frankly, it smells like almost a spot-on dupe of those two candles from Village. I think it's like Fairy Dust and Sugar Plum, maybe. A spot-on dupe for that. And then there was another, there was a candle that was similar to that, and I can't remember which one it was, and I can't remember what candle company it is, but think like that Sugar Plum candle from Village or Santiago Huckleberry from Illume. Like, we're talking bassy, jammy, plum, possibly currant, definitely blackberry, raspberry, like all the way down in the base with at least as much musk like underneath it. This is a very musky candle. But because the musk stands up so well against, or rather, switch that, reverse it. Since the dark jamminess of those fruits are so robust, so assertive, they counter the musk in such a way that it's not like a personal fragrance. It doesn't come across as drowning in musk or in perfume or whatever else. Still, the top notes here, the leading lady in this candle is that amazing jamminess. It just is. It's so fruity, but it's so dark fruity. I mean, it's really, really dark. So dark, in fact, that I would even say it's deep fall. We're not even talking September here. Like, this is an October, November kind of candle. I mean, I love this fragrance so much, and I love these fragrance profiles so much, a la Santiago Huckleberry, that I will burn it at any time of the year, and I was very happy to burn it now. But I would say that it does lean more cool weather because of the musk and because of the darkness and bassiness of the candle, and because some, at least, of those fruits, especially plum, just work so well when they're in that lower register in the fall, in the autumnal season. Ah, I love it. So many of you know that like I worship blueberry, the old school OG blueberry fragrance from Yankee Candle, which I also love to burn in like January. But because I grew up on that candle and have developed a taste for it, and I love it so much, that blueberry candle is really strange smelling, to be honest. It's like no other blueberry candle you've ever smelled. And there is an enormous amount of musk in that candle. So a lot of people don't like that blueberry candle for a whole host of reasons that I completely understand on paper, intellectually. That candle has my heart. And I do think that that profile of the darker jammy berries along with a heavy hit of musk, ooh, it just lands right for me. Absolutely right. I'm not a huge fruit candle kind of girl, but when it is combined like that with something really dark, I mean, it becomes like a berry conceptual at that point, which I would definitely put this in that category. And I am so here for it. I love it. I would say that Yuzu Burst is also another kind of fruit conceptual candle, especially with the greener elements to it and the touch of light musk in it. It's a conceptual too, but I would say that it's like a lighter, brighter fruitiness. I'm really grateful for the green elements. They say in Caribbean Carnival, and they even put it on the jar, that there's a palm leaf in here. I'm not really getting much of anything that's green. If there's a green element at all, it really just kind of comes across as maybe like a fig leaf, or it's kind of, no pun intended, a very fig leaf of like green elements. Or possibly a vine note, a la a fig vine, something like that, you know? But again, there's just so much jam and so much musk that whatever green element here is definitely just not, it's not sounding at all. So I did think it was kind of odd. I guess this is my way of saying, I think the scent story, I think the marketing, I think the whole like concept of this candle is wide of the mark. I just really think it is. I don't think there's anything Caribbean about this or summer about it or fun or light or party-ish, nothing green in it, etc. But it is a gorgeous candle for what it is, which is a jammy, dark, plum, berry, musk, autumnal kind of fragrance. Fantastic. And I have to be honest, though the performance was not quite as good in terms of strength and throw as the Yuzu Burst, it performed better than the Village candles that I've experienced, because I love that Village candle fragrance, but I've never had a Village candle really perform all that well. I want to be able to smell that fragrance. I want to be able to be enveloped by that amazing, lush coziness. And I've just never, I mean, Santiago Huckleberry included, which also has very weak strength and throw. I haven't found too many of these berry musk concoctions, with the exception of Yankee Candle Blueberry, old school, black band, that really like have the same kind of presence that you expect from a scent profile like those. This one definitely was the strongest one that I've burned. So I would have been happy to repurchase this one as well. Right now, it's the best performer in this category after like Yankee Candle Black Band. So really, really strong marks again. Strong marks again. And like I said, burned like a champ. No puny wicks. Every time I burned it, lit up, high flames, ready to go. Just fantastic. Really fantastic. So yes, I highly recommend Caribbean Carnival as well, especially if you like that scent profile. And just be aware that it may not be the kind of candle that you want to burn in the summer, notwithstanding the marketing and the encouragement from Tuscany. Yuzu Burst, though, very, very seasonal. Absolutely, you can burn this now. You should burn it now. You should burn it in summer. It's really, really beautiful, stunning. And while I feel like I have smelled this one for sure, I don't know that I've smelled this one before. So again, I think of the two, Yuzu Burst is my favorite. But I was just so overjoyed to be able to experience this amazing fragrance that I know I already love from Village and from others, but have it actually perform. Oh, what a gift. What a gift. And Tuscany, like I said, I don't know who you're employing for your scent stories, but they need a raise. That's amazing. That's amazing. So yeah, I'm gonna link all of this down below. If you're lucky enough to have a bougie grocery store where they have these in stock, you are lucky. But otherwise, I think you're stuck buying them online. Some of the grocery stores will ship it to you, like Meijer, but you have to be in their realm, their regional realm. You know what I mean? So check on that online too, because like I said, I know at Meijer they were selling them for $12.99, which I think is a steal given the quality here. Tuscany coming through. You know, you have to give credit where credit is due. Are all their candles that good? No, absolutely not. But that's why we have reviewers, right? I experienced these candles. They were great. You could do absolutely worse than even buy them full price on their website. So yeah, thanks so much for joining me, and thank you to Tuscany. I'll catch you guys in the next one.